Here's the single most important fact about oversized transport in Europe. There is no EU-wide permit. None. Every country you cross requires its own permit, with its own dimension thresholds, its own escort rules, its own processing time, and its own fines if you get it wrong. 15+ separate systems between the Atlantic and the eastern border. In this video, I'll walk through how the systems actually work, which countries will hold up your schedule, and how I plan an oversized route in NSRoute, the tool I built, which handles permit planning for 19 European countries. This is the deep dive. First, when is a load oversized? The standard limits across most of Europe are 2.55 meters wide, 4 meters high, 16.5 meters long, and 40 to 44 tons gross weight. Cross any single one of those, and you're in permit territory. And the details differ per country. The Netherlands allows 50 tons and 1875 length as standard. Germany draws the line at 40 tons, which means the same load can be normal in one country and abnormal in the next one on the same route. Let's take Germany, because it's the biggest market and the most bureaucratic. Permits go through a system called VEMAGS. Processing time, about 2 weeks standard, and for complex routes 4 to 8 weeks. Cost, from €40 to 800 plus. Now the escort ladder. This is what surprises people. Up to 3.5 meters wide. No escort. 350 to 375. An escort vehicle behind you on ordinary roads. 375 to 440. Escort in front on motorways and behind on other roads. Over 440, both. And over 5 meters wide, the police join the convoy. Every step of that ladder is cost and lead time you have to price in. Poland works differently. 5 permit categories, 1 to 5, based on dimensions. Up to 3 meters wide, Category 1, no escort. Category 3 and 4 need a pilot car. Category 5, anything exceeding Category 4, needs pilot plus police. Processing runs from 3 to 14 days depending on category, and fees range from about 100 to 6,000 zloty, roughly 23 to 1,400 euros. So who's fast and who's slow? Fastest in Europe, the Netherlands. The RDW system can issue permits in minutes. Czech Republic, about 1 working day. Slowest, Germany, 2+ weeks, and France, where Category 2 and 3 permits take several weeks. This is why the permit timeline, not the driving time, is usually what sets your delivery date on an oversized job. Plan the route around the slowest permit on it. And it stacks with driving bans. Most European countries ban trucks over 7.5 tons on Sundays and holidays. Germany bans them from midnight to 10 p.m., plus summer Saturdays on designated routes. Italy has 79 banned days in 2026. France bans movement from Saturday 10 p.m. to Sunday 10 p.m., with fines from 750 euros. Some countries push oversized loads to night-only windows. In Belgium, loads over 4 meters wide or 30 meters long move only between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. Your permit can be valid and your route still illegal on the day you plan to drive it. Here's how I plan this in NSRoute. Enter the route. Open the vehicle profile, and instead of a standard truck, I set the real dimensions. Let's say 320 wide, 420 high, 60 tons. Calculate. NSRoute flags what the load triggers in each country on the route, which permit category you're in, and what that means for escorts and lead time for 19 European countries. It won't file the paperwork for you. No tool does. But it turns a day of Googling national regulations into a couple of minutes of checking before you quote the job. So, the checklist before you quote an oversized job. 1. Check dimensions against every country on the route, not just the destination. 2. Find the slowest permit and build the schedule around it. 3. Price the escorts. They're separate from permit fees. 4. Check driving bans and night window rules for your exact dates. 5. Leave margin, because a rejected permit means a rerouted transport. The full country-by-country guide is on the NSRoute blog, and the planner is free at NSRoute.com. Links below. If you move abnormal loads, and the tool is missing something you need, comment. I build this thing based on exactly that feedback.